May I have your lordship's permission to commence the proceedings of the court?
Yes, please.
Honorable Judges of the Supreme Court, the Solicitor General of India, Additional Solicitor General, President and Office Bearer of the Supreme Court Bar Association, President and Office Bearer of the Supreme Court Advocates and Court Association, members of the bar, ladies and gentlemen. It's with immense sense of sadness that you assemble today to condole the demise of Justice T.S. Dobia, Justice Ram Prakash Gupta, and senior advocates Mr. S.P. Gupta and Mr. Bhaskar P. Gupta. The bar is a unique public space. Rivers, rivulets, streams, and springs of all hues and ranges mingle and produce a vibrant environment where bonhomie, camaraderie, and intellectual sharing jingle. When the thoughts and proper short form we share larger concerns. These thoughts get embedded and nurture our courtroom debates. Thus it is that when you assemble to pay homage to sisters and brothers in the bar, we not only grieve but recollect and regard their rich and distinct contributions. William Wordsworth comes to one's mind. He wrote, "Though nothing can bring back the hour of splendor in the grass or the glory in the flower, we will grieve not, rather find strength in what remains behind." Omar Khayyam not only said, "The moving finger writes when having writ moves on," but also, "For some we loved the loveliest and the best, that time and fate of all their vintage pressed." Justice Tejinder Singh Dobia left for the heavenly abode on 23rd of December 2021. Born in Lahore, and after partition, the family shifted to Shimla. Chandigarh was made the capital of Punjab. The family was among the first settlers at Chandigarh. His classmates in law included many reputed figures on the bench: Chief Justice Lal Gupta, Chief Justice M. S. Librahan, Justice Amar B. S. Gill, Justice S. Swaroop, Justice Amarjit Chaudhary, and Justice M. L. Shingal. Having enrolled in 1962 as an advocate in Chandigarh, began his illustrious career in the Punjab High Court. It is said that due to his sense of humor and anecdotal acumen, he was affectionately called the Birbal of the bar. I gather from his son, I.P. Dobia, a leading lawyer in the Punjab bar, that Justice Dobia was blessed with a photographic memory, with provisions of law and citations readily being shared. Elevated in 1994 as judge of the Punjab and Haryana High Court, transferred thereafter to Madhya Pradesh, where he served for a period of 4 years, and later transferred to the High Court of Jammu and Kashmir. During his 9 years of tenure as the High Court judge, he delivered a large number of judgments and decided volumes of cases in all fields of law, which occupy the law reports. When the High Court of Jammu and Kashmir, he co-authored a judgment elevating the gender justice dimension by opening up to the local women marrying outside Jammu and Kashmir the right to their ancestral property. Very important development in the field of gender justice. Owing to his delivery of humane justice and with piety, the bar and the litigants in the Jammu and Kashmir High Court affectionately called Justice Dobia as the poor man's judge. Justice Dobia was also a prolific writer who had written more than 52 books and commentaries on law ranging from service law, election law to environment law, and many of them prescribed as textbooks. In addition, he wrote the commentaries on local laws of Punjab and Haryana and published the Punjab Local Acts and the Haryana Local Act, which ran into 17 volumes. He was the founder and editor of Punjab Legal Reports and Statutes and Textbooks in University. After debuting office as Justice on 13th of February 2003, Justice Dobia shifted to Delhi and started practicing in the Supreme Court from 2003 onwards, and it was the second innings of the bar. The sixth edition of the Law of Election Petitions released in August 2021. His first edition of the book was published 70 years ago in 1945. Just before his demise, he was working on the revised edition of the Law of Environment Protection. All these books have been well received by the legal fraternity. Gifted to the religious disposition, Justice President about the life of Sri Guru Nanak Dev and the life history of Bhagat Singh Guru Granth Sahib Dev. As part of nickname, he also wrote the detailed life history of the 9th Guru Sri Guru Tegh Bahadur Ji. At the head of the Dobia Foundation, he undertook the works of philanthropy and donated literally without fanfare and great humility. Yes, Dovey was also president of the Rotary Club Midtown Chandigarh, and during his tenure organized many philanthropic events as well as blood donation camps. He himself was a regular blood donor. He is survived by his wife, Srimati Lakshmi Kaur, two sons, Inderpal Singh Dobia, with the former Additional Advocate General Punjab, and Manpreet Singh Dobia, Advocate Supreme Court of India, and their spouses Reva and Bunny, and two grandchildren, Amiya Dobia, a law graduate from Durham University in the UK, and Gurfateh Singh Dobia, who reached law at the Punjab University, Chandigarh. Justice Ramprakash Gupta earned his LLB degree from University of Delhi, and following the footsteps of his father, late Shri Kriparam Agarwal, a distinguished lawyer, he enrolled as an advocate at the Bar Council of Punjab. He started practice in his father's office and leading advocate. Justice Gupta belongs to the fraternity of those who risen from the lawyer rungs of judicial service. He cleared the judicial service examination in 1964 in the United States of Punjab. He served he commenced judicial career as subordinate judge in 1968, and between 1964 to 1994, a long span of 30 years of service, he has served in various capacities in administration of justice. On 10th of November 1994, Justice Gupta was elevated additional judge of the Delhi High Court, soon served as a judge in the rectors of Calcutta and Madhya Pradesh. After, as a matter of record, that he valued integrity in the office a non-negotiable value, was very particular in ensuring that no one ever raises a finger with impartiality. His reputation for impartiality, encouragement of younger members of the bar, and the keenness for details to do complete justice are amply recorded. He was a strict vegetarian, teetotaler, and his exploits in athletics brought many medals to his school and colleges. In his youth, Justice Gupta was a keen athlete and hockey player. Gupta was a noble soul, an upright judge, and a warm human being with integrity as his bedrock. His life could be summed up in few words: simple, virtuous, generous, and affable. His judgment of events, people, and circumstances was never influenced or clouded by his personal dislikes or preferences. Justice Gupta loved traveling too, which he continued to undertake till his demise. He has traveled the length and breadth of India, and he was a born naturalist, and gardening was a hobby. Justice Gupta left for the heavenly abode on 1st of January 2022, at the age of 84 years. He is survived by his wife, Ms. Savita Gupta, his daughter, Ms. Anita Agarwal, a qualified advocate, currently a homemaker, his son-in-law, Dr. Satish Kumar Agarwal, Chairman, Department of Pediatric Surgery. The contributions of a chartered high court to administration of justice are a treasure house of jurisprudence. The life and times of a long line of illustrious judges, ably and creatively assisted by members of the bar, with erudition and deep commitment to the cause of justice, chronicles their inspiration, besides the doors and windows of the evolutionary stories of Indian law. I will not be overstating if I consider late Sri S.P. Gupta as one of the tall figures of the bar and as one of the great pillars of a chartered high court, namely the High Court of Allahabad. He has several outstanding credits. Born in 1920s in a traditional business family, to enter the legal profession was one. After schooling at Moradabad, he went to Allahabad University, from where he received his Bachelor of Arts degree, and then to Bareilly College, from where he received his, and then from Moradabad district, where he commenced his practice, migrated to Allahabad in 1960. He joined the chambers of Bhagavan Das Gupta, and upon the later elevation, the chambers of senior advocate Sri S.C. Khare. Within a span of 10 years, he became a leading written constitutional lawyer in his own right. His large practice included specialization in fields of taxation, central access, labor, service, civil, and criminal law. In short, he was a versatile all-rounder, known for his prowess and expertise in all branches of law. After designation in the year 1978, his rise in the bar was meteoric, and he earned the unique distinction of being called upon to adorn the office of Advocate General. The case of Justice Satish Chandra, whom he represented, is a landmark case where the Supreme Court endorsed Sri S.C. Gupta's submission that a High Court judge occupy the high constitutional position, and his resignation is not subject to acceptance by any authority or employer, and the judge remains free to withdraw his resignation any time before the effective date. He used to enjoy a large practice in Allahabad High Court and after that the Supreme Court in helping many and needy and deserving clients forgoing his professional fees. He is remembered in the bar, by the bar and judiciary in the nation in particular, for his singular and stellar contribution to the cause of independence of the judiciary in what has come to be known as the first judge's case, S.P. Gupta vs. Union of India. He filed the first writ petition in the country in his personal capacity as a lawyer and fought the case of the crusader for upholding the independence of the judiciary. The judgment has several precedental dimensions, notably on locus standi in the country's constitutional jurisprudence. Justice D.A. Sais noted in the opening paragraph of the judgment that the first salvo was first filed by S.P. Gupta. He actually involved himself again in 1993 in the second judge's case. I mean, a clerical or a ministerial mistake led to a deletion or subordination of his name in the cause title of the first judge's case. The entire bench corrected the error in due recognition of his great contribution to the case. Instances of some of the other cases since S.P. Gupta appeared before the Supreme Court, resulting in memorable contribution to legal jurisprudence of legion. I wish to state only a few of them. In the case of J.P. Kulshrestha, the basic principles of autonomous functioning of educational institution and basic norms which should govern the educational selection committee for appointment of teachers in university. In the UP Forest Corporation Vijay Bahadur, the court held that while awarding governmental contract, the government has always the right to reject even the highest bid in a public auction if with good reason to suspect that there is some illicit intent behind the bidder and award the contract to a public sector organization. In the University of Allahabad with Amit Chandra Tripathi, again the court upheld the right of a university to hold an entrance test for making admission to degree courses. In Rafiquddin 1987 Supplementary CC 401, the court speaking to Judge Venkatramaya laid on the primary rules which must govern issues of appointments, promotions, and seniority in a subordinate judiciary. The last few years, he has been Gupta in his capacity as Advocate General of UP under the full bench of the Honorable Justice Chandrachud when he was Lordship of the Chief Judge of Allahabad High Court. His last appearance in the Supreme Court was in 2013, and he continued to be looked upon by the entire bar and bench of the High Court as a guiding light and elder statesman whenever any crisis arose in the institution of the High Court found itself at a crossroads. On all such occasions, it is recorded that S.P. Gupta raised his voice to hear the court and his paternity on the part of high values and unshakable professionality. Sri Gupta was a staunch believer in the observance of strict discipline and high standards of the bar by lawyers. He was firmly set against the malady of lawyers going on strike, which had started raising its ugly head in the state of UP in the early 1980s, one protecting the other. C.S.P. Gupta, along with some like-minded and sober colleagues, founded a separate bar association in Allahabad High Court with the name of Advocates Association. High Court for several years, he remained the unanimously elected unopposed president of the Advocates Association. In 2017, his wife, Srimati Sashi Gupta, became seriously unwell. Then suddenly, he too almost telepathically became medically grounded. So much so that twice over both he and his wife were hospitalized simultaneously. In 2017, Srimati Sashi Gupta succumbed to her illness in the hospital. Sri Gupta returned to his hometown Allahabad and continued to live alone in a large mansion-like house. Nonetheless, he continued to surround himself with various young lawyers. Almost the age of his grandsons, and they took company with their help. He kept himself fully abreast of the court events and legal news and found whatever mirth and solace he could still find for himself. He had a great passion for listening to Indian classical music, playing bridge and gardening. Before his death of his wife, the large garden in his house in Allahabad used to be passionately looked after by his wife only. It had won many awards for being a best-kept garden. He was also a deeply religious man who kept himself occupied with many spiritual pursuits and philanthropic activities. He ran a personal charitable church and instituted many awards for outstanding lawsuits in the Allahabad University from his own funds. In March 2022, he suffered a serious brain stroke which left him bedridden for several weeks. Just when he was recovering on 11 September 2022, he suffered another brain stroke which left him physically paralyzed, partially paralyzed. He stayed in deep discomfort till 15 January 2022, where he finally succumbed to the stroke after prolonged illness in Allahabad. Sri Bhaskar Prasad Gupta belongs to an illustrious family from the village of Kaligacha in the Komili district of undivided Bengal, now in Bangladesh. Both his grandfather and his father were part of a legal fraternity, one at the bar and the other in the judicial services. His schooling in St. Xavier's School in Calcutta and graduation with first-class honors in mathematics from St. Xavier's College in Calcutta are said to be indelible part of his life. This connection with the alma mater till the end and served for many years with distinction on the governing body of the school and college. His elder brother was Divankar Prasad Gupta, an eminent barrister and senior advocate who was Advocate General of West Bengal and later Solicitor General of India. By the time he completed his graduation, his elder brother had already been called to the bar from Lincoln's Inn and began his practice in the Calcutta High Court. A career in law for Mr. Bhaskar Gupta was thus a natural call. He read law at the University College of London and obtained his LLB degree from London University. He commenced his practice in the Calcutta High Court after being called to the bar from Lincoln's Inn in 1964. He joined the chambers of Dr. Shankar Ghosh, an eminent lawyer, then practicing in the Calcutta bar, who later shifted his practice to the Supreme Court and served as a cabinet minister in West Bengal in the central government. He developed his practice mostly in the civil side, appearing in civil, commercial, tax, and constitutional matters too. Soon he was considered an expert in the writ jurisdiction. Shri Bhaskar Gupta was designated a senior advocate by the Calcutta High Court in 1987. Since 1988, he has principally practiced in Supreme Court of India till the lockdown of 2020. He remained in touch with his parent High Court and played an active role in the 150th year celebration of the High Court. He was instrumental in the publication of the excellent commemorative volume that was published on that occasion. Shri Bhaskar V. Gupta had appeared in many notable cases in the Supreme Court, of which include the case involving the provision of the Securities Contract Regulation Act. He mentored many lawyers in his own chambers, and his juniors include Justice Adojit Mitra, retired judge of the Calcutta High Court, Justice Prateek Jalan, judge of the Delhi High Court, and Justice Rajshekhar Manta, the Calcutta High Court. He has shared with me fond memories of his chamber days with Bhaskar Ji and senior advocates Abhijit Chatterjee and Tilak Kumar Bose. To his juniors, he emphasized the need to draft pleading precisely and present a case concisely, and to present themselves in courtroom with impeccable court manner. I too have fond memories of many cases which we worked together. His amiable, gentle disposition but gentle persuasiveness was always inspiring and worthy of emulation. He had a wide range of interests, including cricket, and had a passion for Indian classical music and Bengali music. He was an active member of the Calcutta various clubs and served as president of the Calcutta Club. He was a highly accomplished public speaker and could speak on diverse subjects. He read voraciously beyond law. He was a man of scholarly and spiritual bent of mind. He was closely associated with the Chaitanya Mission and the Ramakrishna Math Mission.